This the AMG way, we don't follow the crowd. Quiet money moves, we just say it out loud. Tax-free living, long plays over hype. Build it right once, let the legacy right. We talk ownership.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the AMG Podcast. Today, we are going to have some fun talking to one of our new friends in the business, man. Hey, Larry, what's up, man? How are you? We got our brother Jason here. What's going on, fellas? How are you?
Doing great.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome,
thanks for having
man.
me on the show.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, we're going to have some fun. You guys are going to get to know our friend Jason. And we're gonna dig in about business. We're gonna dig in about some personal, learn about who he's working with, and all that good stuff. And might even get a little deep, Jason. We never know where this is gonna go, but yeah, yes indeed, yes indeed. So Larry, go ahead and kick us off, man, and kind of dig into what's happening with brother Jason.
Jason with Rockstar Capital down there in Houston. I'm in San Antonio, so you're not too far away. Tell us a little bit about what you do for Rockstar Capital.
Yeah, so I'm head of investor relations. I'm a partner here at the company where my focus is really making sure we're taking care of our investors and able to help any investor that wants to be able to earn passive income through multifamily real estate, but just doesn't want to actually do the day-to-day work, because it is a lot of work to produce these returns. And so we offer an opportunity where you can invest with us. We manage the deals, right? We find the deals and we execute the business plan to multiply everybody's equity within a certain time frame. Usually it's anywhere from 5 to 7 years. We have had deals held longer for 7 to 10 years. And typically we're able to achieve easily at least a 2x equity multiple or a 3x equity multiple. What that means is if you invest $100,000 with us, we return to you $200,000 or $300,000 throughout the life cycle of the deal. So we have over 4,400 units that we operate right now, own and operate, and we're vertically integrated, meaning that we do our own in-house property management. We don't outsource that. We want to make sure that we have as much control over these assets so that we can protect the assets and protect, at the end of the day, our investors' equity.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. So give us a little bit about your particular role in all of this. Like that sounds incredible. I'm sitting here like, man, all right, if I'm listening to this and I don't know anything about anything, but I heard you said, hold on, if I give you $100,000, that's what you can do. At Rockstar, what is your role and how does Jason fit into all that, if you don't mind sharing?
Sure. So again, my primary focus is investor relations, right? Raising capital for investors, educating investors about how our deals work, right? And just what the business plans look like. And then also I'm very heavily involved with our asset management, which from my side, what I focus more on is the lender relationships, right? Making sure that our lenders are getting all the information that they need, especially when we're wanting to refinance deals. That can be part of the business plan where we're able to increase the value of the property to a certain point where now we can qualify for a newer loan because the property is now worth more. And we can use that new loan to pay off the old loan and then have a cash out portion to return to our investors. And that cash out is tax-free, right? Because it's loan dollars. And so that is one of the ways that we've been able to create these returns. And we've done over 150 million in distributions to date to our investors over our lifetime. Those cash out refinances are one way where typically within 3 to 5 years, we can do a cash out refinance event, and your $100,000 that you initially invested with us, we return that amount to you, and you're still in the deal, right? You still have your ownership percentage, and you're still able to create the return, earn the returns through cash flow. And then once we finally exit the deal, when we sell the property, that's when you get another big payday. So yeah, my role is heavily involved with talking with investors, with lenders, and right now we're also disposing some assets, just meaning we're selling the assets. It's sort of at the end of their life cycle where we've held it for these two particular assets, we've held for over 10 years now. So now it's time where we've already optimized everything as much as we can. There is now just some deferred maintenance that we would rather just have the next buyer kind of deal with, but still being able to acquire a great asset, right? That's clean, that we've already done a lot of the legwork, but still left enough room for them to create the next phase for that property. So I'm heavily involved with those discussions with our brokers, with getting opinions of value and coordinating that process.
So, man, you're in the midst of all of it. I mean, you're directing traffic on multiple levels. Yes, this is great. So, what I love about it, I'm a relational person, man. I know Larry is as well. I see you, I hear you, I see your knowledge base, your acumen, all that. And if I'm a person that says, man, I've got 100, 200,000, you know what? I saw this guy. I like his energy. He knows what's going on. And I heard two words that are important to a lot of people. You said something about tax-free. And I was like, second, run that back. What did you say?
Right. Yes. So again, that was going back to our cash out refinance strategies, right? Where again, it's technically, it is tax-free because these are loan dollars, right? We've been able to improve the value of a property where now it's worth more. A lender is willing to loan us more dollars. And with those new dollars that we've secured, we can pay off our old loan. And now we also now have a portion that we are free to utilize. So typically we are going to set aside a portion so that we continue to invest back into the property. Any sort of capital items that are going to improve the property, whether it be roof replacements or washers and dryers or air conditioning units that we can buy. We'll set that portion aside, but then the rest we can return to our investors, right? And that's dollars that now you can go deploy again into another investment or however you want to spend that money. And again, it's tax-free because they're loan dollars. And the most important thing is our investors, they are still in the deal with us, right? They have not exited the deal. It's just a cash out refinance where we've been able to return their original investment amount to them, but their ownership percentage, their equity has not changed. They're still retaining their portion of the deal. And that's why they can still earn cash flow as the property continues to perform. And then when we have our final exit, when we sell the property and close out the partnership, typically that's when there's another big payday where we have the return of their initial capital officially, and then also additional gain on top of that.
Man, this is amazing. I know Larry's got I have a lot of questions. But Larry, go ahead, man.
Well, let's start with this. Let me start with this. So for the average person listening to this and want to get involved in investment, how do you guys go about finding new investors to enter into this space?
Right. So in the past, we've had a lot of real estate conferences, real estate clubs that we've attended just to present sort of what we do and build relationships with just people in those rooms, because we always, like you said, want to have that connection. People at the end of the day, they do business with those that they know, like, and trust. And for us, it's very important to connect with people in as many ways as we can, whether it be online or in person. And so that's been one avenue. And then the other avenue more recently has been through platforms like this. So thank you again for inviting us to speak with your audience. And this is, again, how we start to build those relationships and for people to learn about what we do. And if they're interested in learning more, we can have those deeper conversations. But yes, social media and podcasts, YouTube, right? All those platforms where we can provide some value in first education, because we understand that not everybody, like I for sure, did not learn about real estate investing or multifamily real estate in school at all. I had to learn all this on my own when I first had the desire to actually be curious about it and to learn more, right? So we always want to first educate, and then with that, we can really decide if an investor would be a good fit to work with us, because yes, there's a lot to understand, and we just want to make sure that this is a good vehicle for their goals. Because at the end of the day, I think everyone, they're investing for a reason, right? They want to, whether it be it could be simply just they don't want to earn income through actively working, right? And this is a way for them to have mailbox money, as we like to call it, or they're wanting to create a legacy for their family, right? Where through these deals, they're multiplying their money at a greater speed and quantity than that they could do on their own through other vehicles. And so this is what we want to first educate and present before we kind of discuss any more deal specific items, because first it's all about what is your goal with investing, and
Yeah.
how can we help support that goal?
Man, you have said so many key words.
Oh my God.
God, like you are like machine gunning our audience right now. This is awesome. Like, and no, in a great way, because here's what we believe in here at AMG is educating people. You said that.
Yes.
We believe in tax-free strategies. We believe in that. Well, man, so many things, dude. You believe literally in networking across all types of platforms. We believe in that. So I do have a question in regards to, the way you guys have built your platform at Rockstar. You built it for a reason. And what I mean is, a lot of times, as an inventor of something, entrepreneur or business, you are doing things because you see trends. And you're like, some of these trends are okay, some are great, and some of them suck, right? What trends are you guys seeing in the industry that you're in, where you say, you know what, we need to pivot a little bit with this, we can capitalize on this? What are some of the things that you guys recognize with maybe just in the industry as a whole that you kind of see the industry going down a certain path that you guys are paying close attention to?
Yeah. So right now, I think technology is such a big piece in how this is going to shape the industry moving forward.
Yeah.
And AI is sort of the buzzword and what everybody's talking about. And I was just in a conference in Scottsdale, and AI was a big component that we were talking about. And absolutely, I see AI being a complete game changer in helping us be more efficient, and then also, just be able to scale, connect with more investors, and do more. And in the past, before AI, again, like we were talking about, one of the things was social media that Rockstar Capital really leveraged to reach a wider audience. Because Robert Martinez, who's the founder and CEO, initially, again, a lot of his equity was built through those local real estate clubs, right, in those rooms. And then once he started to get more into social media himself, that was where he was able to raise another big chunk of equity, and we've been able to really capitalize and build off of that. And for us now, I think AI is that next game changer piece that once we fully understand, leverage, implement, we're going to be able to be that much more impactful, not just with our operations, to help our on-site teams with their day-to-day, but also with how we're looking for new deals and just being able to communicate and spread our message, in a more far-reaching capacity, because AI can help create more content, be able to schedule things more efficiently. So we're certainly finding ways that we can implement AI as best as we can.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible. I got 10 more questions off of that, but go ahead, Larry. I'll get the running. Go ahead, bud.
Explain to us what's working well for you now. What's been frustrating?
Yeah. So I think what's been working really well is we have a great team. And at the end of the day, it is the teamwork that makes the dream work, like they say.
Right.
It is so important, because when you don't have the right synergy, when you don't have the right people in the right seats, it's hard to move with speed, right? And in our business, and I think in business in general, right, money loves speed. And we want to be able to act as quickly and be able to get things done in a prompt manner, so we can move on to the next task that opens up the next opportunity, right? So we've been able to really create a great culture. And especially since we were able to, we tested out third-party management for about 10 months. We were seeing if that could be a form of leverage. For us, it didn't work out, because we realized that a third-party management company just doesn't have the same level of skin in the game. And they do not treat your business and your properties the way that you feel they need to be taken seriously. Because again, for us, it's not just about running a property, it's about protecting investor equity, right? These are deals that we have money invested in, and it is our obligation to make them as high performing as as well-run properties that they can be, so they can produce that return for investors. And for a third-party management company that doesn't understand that and is just only motivated by their fee that they're going to earn, we just realized it wasn't going to work out. So once we transitioned back to doing everything in-house with our team, with the ability to pivot, with the ability to adapt quickly, make decisions quickly, we found performance skyrocket. And now we're in that phase of building for the next stage, right? With AI, with with even greater focus on capitalizing the opportunities that we're starting to see now in the market. So I guess the frustration standpoint has been, again, dealing with some of these inefficiencies. Some of the market challenges where, like we're truly back in acquisitions mode, but this is back in acquisitions mode after a period of pretty much 3 to 4 years where we did not have any new acquisitions because we were needing to find creative solutions for a lot of the market challenges that presented themselves to us, because interest rates increased, taxes increased, insurance increased, and for a lot of multifamily properties, like income can't increase at that same pace. So we had, rents can't always increase at that same pace. So we had to get really creative to find other ways to generate income, other ways to create value, and ultimately ways for us to be able to, again, refinance, because we bought a lot of properties with floating rate debt back in 2021, 2022. So it was very cheap debt at the time, but it was a floating rate. So once the Fed spiked up rates, right, it was the steepest rate hike in history, that put a lot of constraints on those properties. And so we had to get very creative in how we were able to refinance out of that debt. So over the past 36 months, we've refinanced over 226 million in loans. So that was over 10 loans. Our largest loan we just refinanced a couple weeks ago. It was a $54 million HUD loan for a property that we bought back in 2022 for 70 million. So again, it requires a lot of focus, a lot of persistence. Because that HUD loan took almost a year to close, and we had to get really creative in how we went about doing that. But all of that to say is, yes, like in business, there's always going to be challenges. But with the right team, with the right creativity, the right persistence, you can find ways to still come out the other side and continue to be successful.
There's so many great things you've said, man, and shared, and thank you for just the clarity and the educating that you're doing right now. There are people who want to create a passive income and don't know how. There are people that want to get in the real estate space and don't know how, because it can be pretty intimidating if you never really dabbled in it. And a lot of people don't know where to start. So if I'm a new person and I'm like, hey, I saw this guy, and I've been wanting to do stuff. I really didn't have a starting point, but I saw this guy. His name is Jason, and like, but is it easy? Like, I'm not really, my acumen, my knowledge base isn't as probably as vast as his or other people that probably do this. What would you say to that person who may be a little intimidated, but now they know who you are and they're hearing you? What would you say to them?
I would say everything is possible if you have the desire, because it's not about your background per se. Like, I actually did not go to school for real estate. I didn't go to school for business. I went to school for engineering and computer graphics and animation. My original goal was to work at Pixar. That's what I was very crazy about and really passionate about. And there's a lot of things that I learned from my time understanding how art, technology, engineering all work together. And that has helped me have that same mindset when I'm looking at deals and again, being creative, right?
Sure.
To succeed in business is to have that creativity to problem solve and to find or create the solution even when other people can't see it. So I would say, do not ever be intimidated by big goals or things that you are truly interested in and curious about. I think you are interested and curious about those things for a reason, and it's important for you to at the very least have the courage to learn more about it and get educated, right?
Sure,
so talk to someone, right? Read a book, right? For me, the book that I read was Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was my first mind-blowing book that I read right after graduating college, where I felt, man, I really wish I had learned more about this in school or prior, because I had just graduated. Now it was time for me to get a real job. And that book spoke to me in so many ways, where it just made me realize that there's so much more to learn about money first. And we live in a world where money is important, right? Money isn't everything, but money is important. If it wasn't important, why do people, work 8 hours a day to, 90% of the population work 8 hours a day to earn money? So obviously it's important for a reason. And if you can understand it and understand how to earn more money, leverage investments to multiply that money so that you don't have to physically work all day to earn money, that is a game changer, right? And it frees up your time to go then invest in what you do love, spend time the way you do want to spend it. And that's what put me on this path of, again, understanding about money, investing, real estate, and ultimately getting to where I am today. So again, my advice is never be intimidated by true desires that you have. Go pursue them and just take that first step, because that'll lead to the next step and the next, and you'll be so surprised how quickly you can start to see things happen as you.
I got like 10 million questions. We're gonna become friends. I'm gonna light your text thread up with like questions.
Okay.
Instead, I mean, seriously, you give me so much. So, Larry, you got anything? Because I'm gonna light Jason up with some questions in a minute. So go ahead, man.
We've heard a lot of highlights, right? And come much success, you can't get there without some challenges.
Exactly.
Always challenges. So if you could solve one major challenge today, what would it be?
Yeah, I would say the major challenge is being inefficient, like inefficiency and inconsistency, right? Okay. So anything that we can do to create more efficient and consistent systems, right, that allows us to buy back our time, and it allows us to free up our own kind of mental bandwidth to focus on the bigger things, the things that move the needle and drive us forward. Because that is just one thing that we've really understood, that if AI, right, can help us underwrite more deals, if it can help us have better processes of how our leasing teams reach out to prospective residents, follow up with those prospects, go through the leasing process in a very consistent manner, that creates so much value, right? Because now we can then have the teams focus more on that customer service, right? The relationship building that normal humans can do, and we would want them to do well. And a lot of those other admin related tasks that are still important, because it's necessary for the business to function. If AI can be leveraged to handle all of that is super helpful. So that's what we're trying to solve. You know, any areas of inefficiency and inconsistency, we want to find solutions for those.
Yeah. So this is amazing, man, because there's I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's direct crossover, Larry, but there's definitely some connectivity between AMG and Rockstar for sure. You know, one of the things that we do, Jason, is that we help families find passive income opportunities. That's one of the things that we do. And I'm like, man, hold on a second. Our people need to know about you guys. You know what I mean? Like, no, for real, seriously. You know what I'm saying, Larry? Like, I'm thinking about Rolodex of people. Like, hold on a second. I need to make some introductions here.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Right? Because, you know, we're helping people with passive income opportunities. One thing that we are big on, which I can tell you guys are, you said it in so many different ways, but it's getting a return on your time. ROT. Yes. We talk about ROT all the time. So, you know, obviously return on investment. Yes, obvious. We got to have that for the business. Yes. But the ROT is huge. And you talked about that. Even as a business, be more efficient, right? Spend more time on the things that are moving the needle versus just organizing things. Right. But that also means a lot for your clients too. Right. And what you're providing is awesome, because it's like, man, passive income opportunities. How many people in America want that? Everyone. Yeah. How many people know how to acquire that? Not everyone. Right. And that's why I'm trying to really make this bridge to you guys very obtainable, very not a rock, very steady and trustworthy, because a lot of people, they get on Google, they get lost in it, they get intimidated, they don't know who to trust, and they're like, you know what, screw it. Like, I'm just done. I'll just put my money in the bank. And we already know what that's doing. Nothing. Sure. So, you know, I love what you're sharing, man, because, you know, especially empowering people with that passive income. Even like, for instance, how many people would you say percentage wise of your clientele are approaching or in retirement age?
Yeah, I would say over 50% for sure. Yeah. Okay.
That's majority of our clients too. Look at there. Like commonality. All right, cool. And so that passive income is most likely contributing to the retirement income.
Yep.
How many people 55 and up are looking to supplement their income, regardless of pensions, 401ks, annuities, whatever they have, to say, you know what, I've got some real estate income coming in passively. This is pretty, and I work at Rockstar Capital. This is incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, you know, so my encouragement, if you're watching this and you're 55 and up, I mean, even younger too, obviously, But if you're 55 and up and you're looking to make passive income, get a return on your time, enjoy your golden years, enjoy the grandbabies, and know you have money coming in from a trustworthy organization that knows how to do the work that you don't know how to do, but they've educated you where you at least know what's going on. Unlike other places, Jason.
We've seen them too. Yeah.
Right. They just say, hey, just sign here. We got it. Trust us. You're like, what did I just do? Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I love the fact you guys don't do that. That's phenomenal. What does down the road for Jason look like? So, and even, powers that be within Rockstar, you guys are building an empire, right? What do those golden years for Jason and the crew, what do you guys talk about? We're headed where? We want to go off into the sunset looking like this. Like, what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah. So ultimately, we just want to be recognized and known as best in class investors and operators, where we are truly an investment sponsor that, like you said, is super transparent, that you know exactly who you're dealing with and how your money is being deployed, and everything is made to feel that you are truly part of the process and part of the journey with us. So we are one of the very few groups that, at least we've seen, that actually does a monthly investor webinar where we commit the time to put that together and have all of our current investors with us attend that call, so we can show them exactly what we're doing operations wise, how we're considering different market conditions, how we're continuing to move forward with the business plans for each property, and just answer questions, right? Because we want to be as transparent as possible. And we found that when you do that, there's actually fewer questions because people are in the loop, and especially when it comes time to maybe there's a certain time, because we've had this in the past where we've had to raise some additional capital for properties to get to a certain strategic refinance or be able to supplement the property to be able to again head into a certain strategy. Like for that $54 million loan that we just refied, it was actually 2 loans that we had to do to piece that together, because the HUB loan takes so much time. We had to do a bridge loan in the interim to buy us time to get to the final HUB loan, which would give us the best proceeds, the best terms. And so a lot of that required us to be very proactive in communicating, this is what we're seeing ahead, investors, and this is our plan. And we have a steady way of how we're going to be going about achieving it. And we want you to be informed, so it's no surprises, right? And for us, that is so much more valuable than, again, just a supposedly brand name that doesn't have that level of service and level of transparency and communication. We value that so much more than just being a certain brand name, right? Of course, we do want to be a brand name and a household name. We want every one of our investors to feel that they're being taken care of by real people, and they're investing in real assets that if they wanted to, they can go drive up to and go see. And it's not just putting their money into an ether that they have no understanding how that money is being deployed and worked out. So ultimately, that's what we're building. We just want to acquire great assets in great locations and partner with great investors who are.
What ease is that for someone who's going into their retirement years to hear all that? Like, that's what I would want to hear. That right there. Like, that's incredible, man. Larry, what else you got? Man, we want to respect Jason's time. What else you got? A couple more questions.
Staying on retirement, I know that transparency you spoke of, along with establishing that relationship with clients, that's a big thing. And once transparency starts, they start to relate to you more, and you start to relate to them, seeing where they are in their lives. So what are you hearing from your clients, or even if you want to share it for yourself, the pros and cons of your existing retirement?
Repeat that question one more time. The pros and cons of what? Of
your existing retirement, the retirement vehicles that you have in place.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So we've had a lot of investors just communicate that, again, sometimes when they're invested in other retirement vehicles, again, there's no transparency as to how their retirement funds are actually being taken care of. And they may get a report and they may not understand that report. And it's hard just for them to get any information on the status of their investments, right? So, and that's just a very simple thing that, of course, can be taken care of when you have that priority of, investor client service and just making sure that all of their questions are being taken care of and that they fully understand what's going on. And I guess one of the other things is, there's a lot of volatility and uncertainty sometimes in other types of, like investments, securities, those markets where it can go up very quickly, but it can go down very quickly as well. And sometimes that volatility creates a lot of uneasiness, right? And so that's something that investors have shared with us too, where with the types of deals that we do, we are targeting deals that produce just steady cash flow, right? Like as we're holding them, just, it's not going to be necessarily, crazy cash flow that changes your life immediately. Because we have a phrase that is, we have a saying, cash flow feeds you, exits free you. So what that means is, again, we want to acquire great assets that can still cash flow, and it's just steady, consistent income, maybe 6%, 8%. Sometimes it may be as low as 3% or 4%, but at the very least, it's producing a positive return. But the big paydays come from the exits, right? Whether it be exiting a loan or exiting the property as a whole, like when we finally sell it, that is where we're able to leverage how multifamily assets are valued. And that is the biggest thing that we always want to educate investors on is, a single family real estate property is not valued the same way a true commercial multifamily real estate property. Right. So in our world, anything 1 to 4 units is technically considered single family, where how someone values that property is based off the comps in the area. It doesn't matter how much you increase your rents. If you're only at 1 to 4 units, when it comes time to value property for an appraisal, for someone who wants to buy it, for a loan, they're going to look at the comps and justify your value based off the comps. But for anything 5 units and greater, this is where we enter the commercial valuation territory, where your value is dictated by the income the property can generate. And there's a multiple assigned to it. Right? It's a cap rate. So in our world, everything is centered around NOI, net operating income. We want to do everything we can to increase that NOI, because that $1 of NOI can be worth $20 of value on a 5% cap rate, right? Where that is where the multiplying effect comes into play, where that $1 turns into $20, and that $20 becomes real, right? When it comes time for us to refi or to sell.
Of course.
And so that's how we're able to create those big returns through those exit events.
I love this, man. This is so good. I can definitely see in the future another call, and definitely on the private side as well, because I already know some people I want to introduce to you, man.
Wonderful.
I feel like Rockstar, Larry, is like a cousin of AMG. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a cousin.
I thought our language was unique until this call.
I know. It's like, it's amazing, man, just to see how you have an organization like you guys have at Rockstar, and how you're taking care of people, how you communicate, how you educate, what you're empowering them with, the trust that you've established with people. Like for us, even, I'm like, I didn't anticipate this at all until I said, now you're talking. I'm like, man, we need to talk on a different level. Like this is fantastic, because we know, it's great, man. And also people are able to see your personality. And I know if you're at an organization and you're one of the guys in charge, that your senior leadership has to be just as awesome. Has to be. So we really appreciate you being here, man, and taking the time with us. Share what you guys do at Rockstar, share who you are as an executive, man. We're really thankful for your time. Where can people find you guys? Give us some details on that, whether it be social media, website, what's all the good stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can always go to our website, rockstarcapital.com. And then you can follow Robert Martinez, who's, again, the founder and CEO. His Instagram handle is @apartmentrockstar. And you can follow me on Instagram as well. Just my name, @Jason Weilee, Weilee. We're always happy to connect and see, again, how we can serve.
Absolutely. So we're going to take those details. We're going to put them in the description as well. So you can find here at AMG Podcast, click on, we're going to have it on our social media channels as well. So you shouldn't have a problem finding Jason at all. That should be pretty easy to do. So with that said, again, my friends, thank you guys for being here, joining and learning with us today. I know, Larry, we got some notes. We're going to be watching this again and talking to Jason and continue building relationships so we can do life together and honestly, take care of each other. That's the beauty of what we're doing today. So with that said, from Mondo and Larry and our friend Jason, you guys have a great day here from the AMG Podcast. You guys have a phenomenal day.
This the AMG way, we don't follow the crowd. Quiet money moves, we just say it out loud. Tax-free living, long plays over hype. Build it right once, let the legacy right. We talk ownership.